Hello and welcome to Shri Academy online teaching classes. Today I am going to continue lesson 4, A Little World of Mud. About this lesson I have already given you the word meanings of difficult words. Today I am going to explain you about the lesson. But before starting the lesson, I want to explain you about the ecosystem. First of all, let's know what is ecosystem. So, an ecosystem is a place where animal, plants, and non living material exist together. In a simple way, I can say that it is a community or a group of living organisms that live in and interact with each other in a specific environment. In an ecosystem, the living organisms are grouped into producer, consumer, and decomposer. The former representing all the plant life, consumer the organisms that eat them and each other, and the latter those scavengers and bacteria that break down the dead organic matter. It means a food change occurred in all the ecosystem. For example, the amount of sunlight available for plant life and the nutrient level of soil. Okay, I know you are little confused that why I am teaching you about the ecosystem. In your lesson, A Little World of Mud, there is a story of a boy who tried to understand the creatures of world, the creatures like living and non-living thing, how the creatures are dependent on each other to survive on the earth. He tried to understand. So to let's start the lesson to know about the boy. But before that I want to tell you about the writer of this lesson. The writer of this lesson is Ruskin Bond, who lives in Missouri and has spent most of his life in India. His first novel, The Room on the Roof, was written when he was only 17. The most popular nature writer in India, he was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 2014 for his contribution to the children's literature. In the story, he begins as a glimmer into the childhood. Now let's read the paragraph. I had never realized there was much to be found in the rainwater pond behind our house in North India, except for large quantities of mud and sometimes a water buffalo. This land means that in northern India he had a house, and behind the house there is a pond which was filled with the rainwater, and he knows that in the pond there is large amount of mud, and sometimes the buffaloes come in that pond, and nothing else, because means that he did not have any idea that any other things can be found in that pond. The next line is, it was grandfather who introduced me to the pond's diversity of life, so beautifully arranged that each individually gained some benefit from the well-being of the whole. To the inhabitant of pond, the pond was the world, and to the inhabitant of world, maintained grandfather, the world was but a muddy pond. It means that the boy's grandfather make him aware about the pond's diversity of life. Diversity means variety of life. Each and every individual in the pond is dependent on each other and they get benefit in some way. Pond is a place for that creature. It is a world for them. And at last grandfather said, world is nothing but a muddy pond. The next paragraph is, when grandfather first showed me the pond world, he chose a dry place in the shade of an old peepal tree where we sat for an hour gazing steadily at the thin green scum on the water. It means that when grandfather tried to show and teach him about the pond's world, he chose a place. It was a old shaded peepal tree where they sat for an hour, and at that time he was looking continuously on the surface of the pond. The next lines are: the buffaloes had not arrived for their afternoon dip, and the surface of the pond was still. For the first 10 minutes, we saw nothing. Then a small black blob appeared in the middle of the pond. Gradually, it rose higher until at last we could make out as a frog's head, its great eyes staring hard at us. He did not know if we are friends or enemy and kept his body out of sight. It means that when the grandfather and the boy was sitting at the people's tree that afternoon, the buffalo did not arrived for their afternoon dip, and the surface of the pond was also the means the water of the pond was very still, and the first 10 minutes we saw nothing, and after that there was a small bob means a shapeless form usually floating on a liquid. It appeared in the middle of the pond, and when that shapeless thing appeared higher, he found that it was a frog. That frog, because its frog head was seen in the water, and its eyes was staring at them, because he don't know that the person who was sitting were friends or their enemy. So its body and eyes were continuously seeing at them. The next lines are: a heron, his mortal enemy, might have been wading about in search of him. When he had made sure we were not herons, he informed his friend and neighbors, and soon there were several big heads and eyes just above the surface of the water, throats swelled. The frogs were continuously saying to grandfather and boy, because they were afraid of the herons. Herons are the birds who eat fish and frogs, so they are very deadly enemy. So they were watching continuously, so that they cannot come into the water and harm to them. But they found that they after some time they found that no, we will not harm them, we are not their enemy, we are friends. So they informed their friend also and neighbors also. They all soon after some time the several frog came outside the water, and so their voice of throat waves appear before us. Now let's move to the next page. In next page the lines are: and a rook began. In the shallow water near the tree we could see a dark shifting shadow. When touched with the end of the stick, the dark mass immediately became alive. Thousands of little black toadpools wriggled into the light, pushing and hustling each other. It means that a large number of frogs came outside, and there is a sound of rook began. In the shallow water, it means the little water near the tree, they show a dark shadow, and when they touch the water with a stick, a dark mass immediately alighted. A black tadpoles appeared, pushing and hustling, hanging around each other. The next lines are: what do tadpoles eat? I asked. They eat each other most of the time, said grandfather. It may seem an unpleasant custom, but when you think of thousands of tadpoles that are hatched, you will realize what a useful system it is. If all the young tadpoles in this pond become frogs, they did take up every inch of ground between here and the house. It means that when the boy asked, what does this tadpoles eat, the grandfather answered that they eat to each other. And if you will think and realize that how useful this system is, because every day the thousands of tadpoles were produced, and they converted into the frog after some time. And if they were not eaten by each other, there are maybe a lot of frogs in the pond, and this pond will be smaller to them, and they will take more ground. It may be our house, the ground may be our house also. The next lines are, their croaking would certainly drive grandmother crazy. I said, all of the same, I took home a number of frogs, placed them into a large glass jar, and left them on the window sill of my bedroom. At about 4 o'clock in the morning, the entire household was awakened by a loud and fearful noise. The boy knows that he said that the croaking sound of a frog was not liked by his grandmother, but he took a number of frogs into a glass jar and he put them into his window sill in his bedroom. But at 4 o'clock in the morning, the entire household, means his grandfather, mother, and the servants of his house, came him to walk up, because that sound which was made by the frog are very fearful noise. Okay, student, thank you for today's class. In the next class, I will continue the lesson and complete the story also.